D1 Crash Out. What up, bro? How you doing? How you feeling, bro? Gene, how you doing, man? What's happening? What's up? How y'all feeling out there? Good to see y'all. Yes, no, okay. So far, D1 say he doing good. I ain't seen you for a little while, bro. All is well. You got 3 votes. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. We're gonna learn the mind-body connection today, man. Let's do it. No new. What's up, bro? How you doing? Gene says I'll probably be with you in the morning. Okay. If you could wake up, Gene. If you could wake up. So we got 3 votes so far. Okay. D1 says you ever got into a fight? Yeah, when I was a youngin', bro. Prakar said I came in to check in. I appreciate you, Prakar. I hope you had a good day, man. Nonu said, how's it going? It's going pretty good, man. How you feeling? How you feeling, Nonu? How you feeling today? We're gonna talk about the mind-body connection. What made you ask that, D1? You got some stuff going on, bro? Mind-body connection, muscle, mind connection, man. Gene says I'm about to go off on everybody. Yeah, Gene, you be about to crash out all the time, man. We gotta find a way to get you composed. You know what I'm saying? D1, oh, you got a situation, D1? We could talk about it in Discord, my brother. Nonu says fights, many fights last year. Wow. Talina won. What's up, Talina? How's your day? How you feeling? Y'all do me a favor and smash that like button for your boy. I'd appreciate it. Okay, we got 4 votes so far. 75% say they know. Okay. D1 says, "I, cause we could talk." Yeah, it's kind of hard to shift the whole conversation to that. You feel me? Talina won. You funny, Talina. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. We got 4 votes. We got 4 votes, 4 poll votes. Let's turn the music up a little bit and let's get rolling. Gene says, "Oh my God, one time my black man caught and got in a fight with a kid, bro. It was an ultimate show." It was an ultimate show, Gene. Phantom says, "You look like Mayweather." I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, D1, man. Be safe out there, man. Hey, Phantom, where you checking in from? Where you checking in from, Phantom? Where you checking in from, brother? Talina, where you checking in from, Talina? Picard says, I've had girls in high school. Oh, it went kind of fast. I'm sorry, y'all. Ain't funny. I mean it for real. G, you funny, Talina. You are funny though. Prakar says I had girls in high school come up to me trying to fight me over nothing. That's weird, Prakar. They just want to fight you for no reason. Nonu says Kobe or Jordan. For me, Kobe. I'm going Jordan, Nonu. I'm going Jordan all the way. D1 crash out said because this guy pushed my cousin on the ground. He broke his wrist. I went over there and started. Yeah, we. Yeah, crash out, man. That's tough, man. I mean, you got to defend yourself, so I understand. Talina from Ukraine. Shout out to Ukraine. Lil Timmy says, we here. Shout out to Ukraine. Shout out to Turkey. Phantom from Turkey. Shout out to you, man. Lil Timmy. What's going on, man? How's your day, little Timmy? How's your day, little Timmy? We got 6 likes or 5 likes and 6 poll votes. Let's go. D1 said that's so relatable, bro. Bro, Gene and D1, man. Why y'all like fighting so much, man? Maximize. I ate more chicken with lettuce. I'm a big bag. Hey, listen, that's how you grow a big bag, bro. Let's go. No News says Ukraine is so beautiful. I never been to Ukraine. Is there any good food in Ukraine? D1 crash out. Yeah, for sure, man. You got to keep your head on the swivel, but be safe, man. And Lil Talina. What's Little Talina? What does that mean, Talina one? Lil Timmy, I'm doing good, man. You got any plans for the weekend? Any plans for the weekend? Gene says I'll be a sub for Love Tester for sure, Gene. But Gene, we gotta. Do you have Discord, Gene? Do you have Discord? Maximize says honestly, I've never heard of a famous food from Ukraine. Me neither, bro. But I always like hearing about other countries what they got going on, especially the food wise. You know what I'm saying? Talina, are you in Ukraine? You live there, or are you just from there? Nonu says only 4 countries left I visited. Oh my goodness. Nonu, you've been everywhere. Gene, are you able to get Discord or you're not allowed? Little Timmy said grinding probably. I got you, man. You trying to be great, huh, little Timmy? D1 said because these people know how to be real. Because these people don't know how to. D1, where are you from, D1? Where are you from? You might have told me already, but tell me again. Chicken Kiev. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds awesome. Cheek Z says checking in with the big homie in the chat on this beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you, Cheek Z. Gene says I can't download anything. Okay, Gene, let me know when everything gets copacetic with your phone. All right. Little Timmy, yes sir. Nonu says love testers ready. They were easy, bro. It looked like you quit when we were in the we was in Discord, bro. D1 says in Chicago. Okay, shout out to Chicago, man. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Chicago, man. Sheik Z says at Bella Annalise. Who's that, Sheik Z? Is she in here? I don't see her. Bella Annalise. I don't know who that is. Maximize says it's 99 degrees out here in Texas, so I can't even feel my AC. Bro, it's hot in Florida too, bro. The heat is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But check this out, y'all. I want to ask y'all a question. Do you know what the mind muscle connection is? Do you guys know what the mind muscle connection? If you know what the mind muscle connection is, put a 1 in the chat. If you know what it is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what the mind muscle connection is, put a 2 in the chat. If you know, put a 1. If you don't know, put a 2. Let's go. I feel like the mind muscle connection, right? Okay. Gene says the nervous system. Cheek Z says 1. Okay. Maximize says global warming ain't going hard. That's funny. Atomic Monster. What up, Atomic Monster? No new. I quit because I got an appointment. Oh, I see you. Talina says Chicago. Yeah, Chicago is rough, bro. You're right about that. What's her name, Cheek Z? The nervous system. Okay. I'm reading all that. Spingy says somebody's behind you in a tree. You're right. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's me. Let's go. MP, what's going on? Hello, brother. Mind muscle. My guess is like when you can't do max until the second set. That's a good guess. Yummy pancakes. Appreciate you. How you feeling? What's happening? What's up? No one is spinzy. What do you mean, D1? What do you mean by no one is spinzy? All right, so I see a bunch of ones and I see a bunch of twos. All right. So we're gonna talk about it, y'all. So I think that the mind muscle connection, right? I think that it helps you with everything that you do. Okay. I think it helps you with everything that you do. All right. So the mind muscle connection, right, is when you're lifting and your brain is thinking about what you're actually doing. Now that sounds simple, right? It's like, big deal. She said she's using no new. Oh, okay, I got you. Big deal, right? My brain is thinking about what I'm doing, right? But a lot of times, right, when we're lifting and when we're doing things, we're not even thinking about it, bro. We're just going through the motions. When you're looking at your phone, you just scrolling, you ain't even paying attention. You just scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Hoop highlights. What up, man? I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Hoops highlights. Thank you. So your brain and your muscles have to be working hand in hand for you to get the best out of your lifts. Love Tester, I see you. Psycho Bandit in the building. All right. So when I'm lifting a weight, right, I'm pushing, right? You don't want to just get behind the weight and just push it like this. You want your brain to lock into the muscles that you're targeting, right? And I'm gonna let you know how this applies to life. You want your brain to lock into the muscles that you're targeting. And then as your brain gets attached to the muscle that you're targeting, now you have the mind muscle connection. You feel me? Because you're moving the weight, but your brain is thinking about the muscle that you're using. You're not just throwing the weight up, right? So, with that being said, that works for everything in life when it comes to focusing, when it comes to locking in on your goals, right? You want to lock in mentally before you lock in physically. The brain or the mind, what the mind believes, the body can achieve. You understand what I'm saying? So with mind muscle connection, that even helps you not just in the weight room, but it also helps you when you're studying for school. It also helps you when you're doing your chores. It also helps you when you work a job. You feel me? The mind muscle connection is important for all aspects of life because if not, you'll just be going through the motions. You feel me? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, put a one in the chat. If you need further explanation, put a two in the chat. Let's go, let's grow, baby. Talina says you're absolutely right. I appreciate you, Talina. Prakar says, what's love tester? I'm gonna let her answer that one. Sonic character friends, what's up? How you feeling? What's up? How you feeling? All right, so if that made sense, that first little snippet, if the mind muscle connection, if that made sense, put a one in the chat. If it doesn't make sense and you're like, put a two in the chat and I got you. Nonu says she's a mod, which gives us daily. Yeah, for sure. Nonu, she got riddles for everybody. So y'all tell me, MP. MP says what muscle to focus on in pull-ups because my whole upper body is in recovery. You said what most muscle to focus on? Pull-ups is primarily a back workout. So you have your forearms. Your forearms start the lift, but it's mostly your back working out. So MP, it all depends. If you're still sore, you might not be able to do back just yet. Cheek Z says I weigh 198. I didn't right 1,000 push-ups, including Russian bed when I was young like you. When I was young like you, older and bored with building muscles. Cheek Z, you say you're older. How old are you, Cheek Z? You still sound young, bro. Kaylee Smith in the building. What's up, Kaylee? Nonu said 3. What you mean, Nonu? She's a mom. What you mean by that, Nonu? Spenzy. Bye, bro. The thing just moved. All right, Spenzy. You take it easy, Spenzy. Take it easy. I appreciate you. MP says, okay, back nice. For sure. For sure. So listen, if the mind-body connection made sense, put a 1 in the chat for me. If it didn't make sense, put a 2. I'm going to further elaborate, but I just want to make sure everybody's computing with me. You feel me? Put a 1 or put a 2. Let's go. MP says 1. Okay, got you. MP says I got it. Sonic and Character says I got it. Gene says I wasn't here to hear it. Gene, where were you at? Where were you at, Gene? Nonu says 1. Okay, good. I'm gonna elaborate a little more, but I'm gonna ask some more questions. Cheek G says 44 built for war, but the war is over. Peacetime. People are living it. People's lives are in pieces coming after me and my family. Oh, I got you, Cheek Z. I got you, man. Well, you keep your head up, bro. You keep it going. Kaylee Smith. I think that's because you just came in, Miss Smith. But I'm gonna keep explaining it, right? All right, so I'm gonna ask this question, all right? I'm gonna ask this question. When you're doing things, think about your day today, right? When you were doing things today, right? If you think back on your day, how many people can say they were mentally locked into what they were doing? If you can remember what you were doing today, type a 1 if you were mentally locked into what you were doing. Type a 2 if you were just going through the motions. Viking woman, what's up? Talina says, what is your favorite music? My favorite music is probably Christian hip hop. Let's go. Prakar says, bro, sounded like a teacher asking for sure. You're right about that. That's what I do. I teach. You know what I'm saying? Nonu says, okay, I see all the ones. Sheik G says, what do you mean above chat? You said she's using Nonu. Okay. Kaylee Smith said 1. So you guys are all locked in mentally. Talina 1. Look up Caleb Gordon. Look up Caleb Gordon. I want to grab a cup of soda, not too bad, but it's the first time I drink soda. Okay, Maximize. 1 soda's not bad. 1 soda's not bad. Sonic says, I'll be back. I have to do something. Okay, I'll see you when you get back. Maximize. It's all good. Okay, so everybody said they were locked into what they were doing today, right? Okay. Now, Luis Mendoza, how to get a woman, bro? Work out at the gym, bro. That's how you do it. Talina 1, look up Caleb Gordon. Okay? Prakar, yes. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to listen to. Brian Smith, I'm doing good, man. How you doing, bro? MP says, definitely just going through the motions. Okay? You're being honest. That's perfect. Okay? Luis Mendoza says, thanks. Yeah, get in the gym, build some muscles, work on yourself, and before you know it, she'll be right there. Rice and beans in the building, man. We learning today. Okay, so you know how some people said it's Friday, let's grow. That's what I'm talking about. Rice and beans, he got it. I don't know, but my thing says we got 1 person and 0 likes. Yeah, that's definitely wrong, bro. Luis about to lock in for the you see him, bro? Luis about to go work out tonight. All right. Cheek Z says no new Yeah, bro. You speaking in code, bro. You gotta help us out with that. Pakar says, man, I've been listening to hip hop and rap for years, but I never heard of that. Yeah, Pakar, look up Caleb Gordon or Aha Gazelle. Check it out. Hassan says, nice chess games, G. I appreciate you. So, family, we're learning about the mind body connection. We try to learn how not to just lift, not to just go through the motions, but actually feel what you're lifting, right? You know what I'm saying? Going through the motions kind of desensitize you to the lift, right? So when you just go through the motions, you don't feel the lift. It's almost the same way with everything in life. Talina says, don't dig. Can you write it somewhere? Love Tester, are you here? Are you here, Love Tester? Are there any mods here? Viking Woman, are you around? MP says I'm a rugby player, so you got to stay locked in. But working out, I will stay mindful. That's right. The mind muscle connection is important. You know why? Think about this, right? When you work out, right? Man, people in my gym are not like 10%. That's right. When you work out, right? If you're working out for a sport, right? You're not working out in the game. In the game, you're performing everything that you worked out in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Viking woman, can you write Caleb Gordon so I can pin it? Write Caleb and Gordon so I can pin it. Okay, Maximize got it, Viking woman. I'm gonna just pin that for people that are questioning what I like to listen to. Let's go. So Cheek Z says, and that tail looks like a tail dangling. Well, bro, you know, animals, they jump in trees, bro. It's all good. They can't get in here. Brian Newburn says, yo, I'm back. What up, Brian Newborn? We're just learning about the mind-body connection, bro. Spenzy says, I think I was a skinwalker. I think that was a skinwalker. I don't know what is Spenzy saying, bro. What you saying, Spenzy? Talina says, I have a beautiful body because of sports. Oh, what sport did you play, Talina? Louise says, machine, I have that. Okay, for sure. So when you go to the game, y'all, when you go to the game, right, you're performing what you worked out. You feel me? You're not going to the game to practice. You're going to the game to work out what you've been practicing. You feel me? So with that being said, you got to have that mind-body connection with you. You feel me? And what does that mean? When I'm working out, I got my music on or not, depends on what you like, right? But you locking into it, right? Spengy's going crazy. Yeah, Maximize. He might got a little something in his cup, man. But you're locking into what you're doing. Why? When I'm working out my biceps, I need to be locked in. My brain need to be locked into the biceps contracting. I want to feel it. I want to think about it. I want to grow, right? So that's with anything. With chest, same thing. With shoulders, same thing. You know what I'm saying? All that, right? So with that being said, that's the mind muscle connection. It works with everything. It works with regular life. When you're working on a job or a business, you got to have your mind. You got to have your mental space. All right, let me read some of these comments. Oh, Spenzy's still hallucinating, but we love him though. We love you, Spenzy, but you're hallucinating. Gene says, I saw you live. Maximize. I am the pain. What do you mean by that, bro? I am the pain. I like it, but what do you mean by that? Prakar says, just listen to some Gator Gordon. I see it now. No cussing, all clean. Prakar, Caleb Gordon, he be riding, man. Louise says, how many times I have to work on my body? Start with 3 days a week, bro. Start with 3 days a week and build to 4. But start with 3 days, bro. Let's go. Callie says, you blow up. What do you mean, Callie? What do you mean if I blew up? Jado Blasi says, Spency hallucinated. Yeah, he see all kind of stuff in the trees. He see all kind of stuff in the trees. Lizards, everybody. Spency, why is no one trust me? It's not that we don't trust you, bro. We just don't see it, bro. That's all. Estelle, you still cleaning up your wound, Estelle? Is it getting better? Gene says, I have a big blister on my finger from playing guitar. Gene, you do it all, bro. You draw, you play guitar, you do it all, bro. Yeah, Luis Mendoza, you get it going and let us know your progress, man. We're rooting for you. Let's go. All right. So before I move on, does anybody have any questions on the mental or the mind muscle connection? Any questions? Put a Q before your questions and I got you. Cheek Z says, Spenzy, I'm with you, homie. You see it too? It's to the other side. Okay. Cheek Z, we're gonna look out for it, man. We're gonna look out for it, bro. You know what? I see it. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's me. Let's go. Prakar says, do you have a favorite rapper? Right now, I would say his name is Aha Gazelle. Let's go. Maximize. Like when you were saying my brain's thinking my muscle contracted. There you go. Maximize. I become the pain. See, you guys are getting it, man. We got the smart group today, man. Gene says, but yeah, maybe I can get on Discord. Let me know, Gene. Try it out and let me know. Spengy says, I'm out. I'll dislike. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry that you know. I'm sorry. It's all good. It's all love, bro. Sonic and Character. What's up, man? He back. Estelle Moore says, I got home. I need before. Yeah, Estelle, man, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better. Love Tester says, Will, you remember my daily riddle? For sure we remember it. We had no choice. You was sticking them to us. We loved it though. It was fun. All right, MP says, working on skills for a sport, training the movements of that sport, fitness and power in my own time. That's what's up, MP. That's what's up. Love that. Love that. What you say you play rugby, right? MP? Rugby? So any questions on the mind body connection before I move on? Cage S, how you doing? What's happening? What's up? My name is Will. What's your name, Cage? Okay, Spenzy, man. I hope you have a good night, Spenzy. McKenna, I see you. What's happening? Estelle, you about to go make dinner? What are you making? MP, you play rugby. That's right. I remembered. That's that mind muscle connection. You see that? I remembered. Let's go. The mind muscle connection. Sonic and Character says, I have a gym class Monday. I have to do 5K. Can you give me some tips to train for the 5K? The best tips I can give you, Sonic, is to be well warmed up before you train. Also, make sure you stretch properly. And also to train for the 5K, I would do it prior. So I would do some long distance running prior to the actual match, okay? Cage says, my name is Lania. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Cage S. Good to see you. Welcome on into the winner circle. McKenna, my day is going great. How about you? Love Tester says, Mr. Phase Bear. What do you mean? Oh, okay, I got you. You're talking to Gene. Pizza Pockets. That sounds like love, man. Sheik Z says, have you done Tough Murder or Warrior Dad? What is that, Sheik Z? What is that? McKenna says, mine is good too. That's good to hear. You got any weekend plans, McKenna? What do you plan on doing this weekend? I wouldn't be mad if you said chill because it's hot, bro. I don't know where you at, but it's hot over here, man. I would run 3K until you can run MP. That's great advice right there. I like that. That's great advice. That's great advice. Okay, Gene, for sure. We appreciate you, Gene. Mud runs, obstacle courses. He says, bro, you have to do a few. Sheik Z, where do you do those? Mud runs and all that. I never heard of that, bro. Nonu said, we back. Hitting Big says, hey, man, you sell those hats? I mean, I have some in stock, but I haven't put them up on my YouTube yet. But if you're a person that actually wants a hat delivered to your house, you let me know in Discord and we'll find a way to get it to you. Let's go. No news. We back. It's pronounced Fazbear, but it's spelled Fazebear. Okay, I got you. I got you, bro. I don't know about all those things, but I'm interested in learning. Spiral 12. What's good, homie? What's good, bro? How you feeling, man? Mason said, we back. Okay, so for those that are in here, do you guys remember or do you guys have any questions about the mind-muscle connection before we move on to the next point? It's Friday. Everybody feeling good, on the way to great. So we just chilling, hanging out, and we finding out how to get better. Let's go. Okay, Hitting Digs. Yeah, hit me up on Discord and we'll find a way to get it to your door, man. Mason, you do. What's up, Mason? Ask whatever you want, bro. Let's go. Okay, Cheek Z. That's pretty cool, man. I don't know when I would be able to fit that in my schedule, but I'm definitely open to looking at it. The whole man got a whole lot of things, you know what I mean? Mason said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Okay, no problem. Sonic says, here's a joke. Why did the mouse not eat the cheese? He was lactose intolerant. That's funny, man. Listen, Sonic, you got competition with the jokes because Love Tester, she got them for everybody, for every occasion. Let's go. Okay, mind muscle connection. So we got that out the way, all right? Now we're going to talk a little bit about recovery. Recovery. Does everybody know? Love you too, Mason. Does everybody know what recovery is? What is recovery, y'all? It's one of the most neglected things, not even just in fitness. It's neglected in regular life. Recovery. If you know what recovery is, put a one in the chat. Sonic says, have you tried being a gym teacher? I am one. I'm teaching you right now, Sonic. You're getting it right now. MP says, let your body rest. That's one component for sure. Brandy Lee, what's up? Healing, like taking a rest, mental break. No, maximize. You're right there, bro. You're right there. You're right there. You guys are all saying good stuff. I love when we throw all these answers in the pot. That's how you make good soup. Let's go. But maximize, you're right there. Brandy Lee, you said one, okay. Love Tester says, I do. Question, does recovery affect how you look on the outside? It does have an effect on that. Absolutely. Absolutely. It has an effect on that. Eat within 30 minutes. That's right, MP. That's right, MP. Cheek Z says, I have time to try to country van life. Look, little teeny about it. It's just a kid real quick. But it's Cheek Z, man. You sound like you living the life, man. Van life. That's what's up, bro. So check it out. So everybody type in, okay? All right. When I run, for some reason, my ribs start to hurt. You might be running too fast, Sonic. Or maybe you got a rib injury you don't know about. But put some ice on it, bro. So check it out. Put some ice on it, Sonic. So recovery, right? MP says 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's important too. That's important too. Sleep is one of the most important components of recovery, y'all. But we ain't gonna go too deep in that because I want to give you a generality so that you can kind of let your brain work. You know what I'm saying? So with recovery, right? Recovery is just as important as the workout. I hate to break it to y'all. I know everybody want to work out 100 days a year, 100 days a week, but recovery is just as important as a workout. Maximize says, well, you could be breathing too much while running or asthma. Try running with breathe. Okay, you answering him. Okay. Charlie B from the Windy City. So recovery is just as important as the workout, right? Now, I want to hear y'all's answers. Why do you think that recovery is just as important as the workout? MP says, depending on how hard you work, for sure. Why do you think recovery is just as important as the workout? Put it in the comments and I'll read it and we'll chop it up. We're putting our thinking caps on tonight, y'all. Welcome to the Winner Circle. Let's go. Why is recovery just as important as the workout, family? Reza from Iran. Shout out to Reza. How you feeling? Sore ribs, I could have pulled a muscle. Yeah, true. That's true, MP. Man, I love when people in the community are helping each other out. That's what community is all about. I love that. Let's go. Okay, Maximize says, okay, let me read them. They're coming in fat. Because recovering allows your body to take in the workout, but healing better. There you go. There you go, Maximize. You're right about that. Love Tester said, because recovery helps your mind and body function. Also, if you have low pain tolerance, having the recovery you need. That's true, Love Tester. That's true. Recovery is important to grow. That's right. You don't grow in the gym. You grow outside of the gym. In the gym, you're tearing the muscles down. Outside of the gym, you're recovering. Right? In the gym, you're breaking the muscles down. Outside of the gym, you're recovering, right? So that applies to all of your studying, all of your schooling, right? You got to recover mentally as well as physically, right? When I was told that, you don't build muscles in the gym, you build them outside of the gym with nutrition, with rest, with hydration, right? All of that stuff. Reza, what country are you from? I'm in America. Where you from, Reza? Maximize. So then when you heal, you technically heal with perks. What do you mean by heal with perks, Maximize? Can you explain that for me? But recovery is important. That's why nutrition is important. Why? Because when I'm eating correctly, the food helps me recover. It gives me the nutrients that I need. It gives me the energy I need. Okay. Okay. I'll see you when you get back, love tester. Sonic says, is it true if you wear shorts that makes you faster? I think it gives you room for your knees to move. Reason says, I'm from Iran. Shout out to Iran. Shout out to Iran. Maximize. Like when you heal, you won't feel as much pain when you go back to the gym with your body. There you go. So maximize. You not feeling as much pain is a indication that your body is getting stronger. It's getting more tolerant, just like you said. PRRJ, what exercise can I do to get extra? What? PRRJ, you must be trolling, bro. Shout out to the trolls, man. We love trolls too. The trolls need love the most. MP said not tight shorts, right? You need loose shorts. That way your knees can move, etc., etc. Let's go. Okay, so recovery is just as important as lifting. If you're lifting and you're not recovering, guess what's happening? Your body is only getting incrementally strong, but you're also tearing down your system. You feel me? Blade Edits. What up, Blade Edits? Sonic, you should try doing a live stream where you teach people workouts and you do them. Sonic, those are coming soon, Sonic. I'm going to do it in my home workout space. And I also have some live streams where I did show people. If you look at some of my old live streams, Sonic, but I will do that. How many people in here are interested in that kind of stuff? Live workouts. Put a one in the chat if you're interested in live workouts. Queen's Alchemy, peace and love. How you feeling, Queen? Blade Edit said, I'm just kidding, man. I figured you were trolling, man. But trolls need love too. Let's go. Reason says the American people are brothers to Iranian people. That's for sure, man. Shout out to you, bro. Hey, Blade, we not mad, bro. It's all good, bro. We show love to the trolls because they need it the most. Ghost Davisky, what's up, man? We love you from Iraq. Much love to Iraq, man. Shout out to you, Ghost. How's your day going, Ghost? Queen, how's your day going, Queen? MP tearing down the system. Can I hear more, please? Absolutely, MP. So when you're working out, you're breaking down muscle tissue. You're breaking it down so that when you're out of the gym, it can rebuild itself. You follow me? Maximize. I want to go see some battle. We'll go before him. Yeah, Maximize. You've been up all day, bro. Queen's Alchemy. I'm better since I'm here. Glad I caught you live. I was referred to your channel by Mindset Journey 247. Hey, Queen. I'm glad you're here, Queen. You're more than welcome to be here. Queen says I would love a live workout. Okay. Once I know people want to tune into that, I'm going to do it and walk people through the workout, man. I want them to see the mind muscle connection. I want them to see how we work. And you know, we ain't trying to be perfect, but we trying to get that work in. Okay, Reza, like if you agree with me. I agree with you. I agree with you, Reza. Maximize, I got you, bro. I understand that. That makes sense. Ghost, Blade Edits, you're a bodybuilder? No, I'm a health coach, bro. But I build bodies, if that's what you're asking. Let's go. MP says, so you lose condition overdoing it? For sure, MP, because what you're doing is when you break down the muscle, if it doesn't recover, what happens is you're more prone to injury now because it didn't fully recover before you hit it again. You understand what I'm saying? I learned this later. I used to overlift, and then I started learning how important recovery was. Queen says, I'm well. How are you? Queen, I'm good, on the way to great. Let's go. Sonic says, want to hear a joke? Why did the skeleton not cross the road? He didn't have the guts. That's funny, bro. You a love tester. Let's go. Reza says, like if you agree. We like, bro. We agree. Blade Reza K, you feel, how did you do that? Queen said, let's go. That's right, Queen. Let's go. Blade Edit says, what about creatine? What about creatine? Creatine can be used in a healthy way, but you're going to need to drink more water. People got to realize that. If you're going to use creatine, you got to up your water. Creatine is good for definitely helping you with muscular endurance, strength, but it's also good for your brain. Look it up. Maximize says, because you damage yourself. There you go, Maximize. And can't you heal faster? Okay, Maximize. Good question. That's why people use PEDs, because you're looking for faster recovery. But creatine helps you heal faster. Protein, a higher protein diet, which has amino acids, will help you heal faster, and it promotes protein synthesis. So those things will help you heal faster. But you know what else will help you heal faster? Getting good sleep. Let's go. Nobody want to hear that one, but getting good sleep will help you heal faster. Oh yeah, getting good sleep. I know. Everybody gonna leave when we talk about sleep, but it's healthy for you. I promise you, y'all. We teaching the people today, man. We teaching the community. We want the people to be strong. We want them to feel good. You know what I mean? Queen says your rest is essential. That's a fact. MP said clean food. That's right. Right. Eat how you want to look. Right? Eat how you want to look. Eat how you want to look. Sonic says, why did the barber skip the way he took the shortcut? That's funny too, Sonic. I like that one. Jay, know you laughing. That's right. Maximize says, good sleep equals good dreams. Man, don't even get me started. I'm too tired. I knew that was going to hit you, Maximize. Nara, what's up, Nara? If I'm saying that right. So, recovery is important. MK677 is good for building. What is that, Blade Edits? What is MK677? Cheeks, you say sea moss, moringa, 2 superfoods of minerals and vitamins. The body needs for ample coverage, sugar, ditch dairy, meat, eggs, converted seven. Cheek Z, you believe? Are you a vegetarian, Cheek Z? Queen says, love that. Eat how you want to look. That's right. That's right, Queen. If you're eating, I'm not a vegetarian, right? But I believe if you're eating processed foods all the time, unless you got a certain type of genetics, you're not going to look good. Now, even if you have a certain kind of genetics and you still look good, it doesn't mean your insides are feeling good. So you want to minimize. I ain't telling nobody to be perfect, but you want to minimize the processed foods. You know what I mean? Sonic says, is it true that if you don't get enough sleep, your eyes start looking purplish? I mean, I'm sure they can start looking like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they can. You know? Queen says, Sonic, I'm a witness. Queen, do you struggle with sleep? If you do, I might have a tip for you if you struggle with sleep. Cheeksy says, no, but I built muscle on and off since 15. I was a beast in my prime, big homie. I believe you, Cheeksy. I believe you. Blade says, in my gym, some guys look 95K with actually 120. Why is like that? Can't explain. You say they're smaller, but it's because muscle looks more dense. You know what I mean? Muscle looks more dense. Some people think I weigh more than what I weigh, you know? Y'all smash that like button for the efforts, man. We're teaching the community how to go and grow. Let's go. That's correct, Maximize. And did you guys know that muscle weighs more than fat? Did you guys know that, right? Because you're the smart class. Muscle weighs more than fat. MP says I treat myself once or twice a week. Hey, MP, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. I had a cheat meal today too, but I'm jumping right back on the train, baby. Let's go. J. Cool, I remember you. What's going on? Queen's Alchemy says, I just need to turn my mind off creating content and building on YouTube keeps me up. Queen, it's a balance. Everything is about balance, you know? So if you're ODing too much in one area, you may be out of balance and you may want to evaluate it. Blade Edit says, so that means they gave more muscle than fat. Am I right? Or they have more? You mean they have more muscle than fat? If they look like that, more than likely, you know, because usually when somebody's overweight, I mean, they just look overweight. But if a person has muscle, you can't really tell how much they weigh. Maximize says, I need to cut down on the snacks and stuff. If you eat, this is the thing about snacking, y'all. This is what I realized. If you eat foods that are nutrient dense, you will not want to snack as much as you do. But because we eat so many processed foods that don't have the nutrients, that's why we're eating all that stuff. Queen's Alchemy, it is truly balanced. That's right. I think every human, if they're honest with themselves, they all want balance. Sonic says, I saw your homemade Chinese food cook on YouTube short. I'm going to try making it. Listen, it was a banger. Let's go. MP says it's a very old saying, you are what you eat. That's right. That's right. And listen, we're not teaching perfect, right? I always say, you don't got to be perfect at it, but you need to be working at it. Let's go. I ain't perfect at it, but I'm working at it, right? Isn't that fair? Maximize. So like the nutrients and good foods make you feel, there you go, Maximize. You teaching now, bro. When you eat the right foods, right, you're gonna feel fuller, right? When you eat the right nutrients, when you get the right amount of fat content, when you get the right amount of carbs, complex carbs, when you get the right amount of protein, right, you're gonna feel better. So you're not gonna need to snack all the time. I used to snack all the time, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Why am I so hungry? I'm lifting. I know I'm gonna be hungry because I'm lifting, but why am I so hungry? You know why? Because I was eating processed foods. Processed foods make you feel good for a little bit, and then they drop you off a cliff and you're ready to eat again. You know what I mean? Queen's Alchemy says, I have to learn to stop stopping. What do you mean by that, Queen, by stop stopping? Can you explain that for me? Renee Ferguson in the building. What's up, Renee? How you feeling? MP says cut out sugar and weed is a big thing. That's right, MP. I agree. I know some people can tolerate wheat, Blade Edit says, I use fish oil capsule, creatine, and multivitamin. These are my gym supplement. This, enough protein. I also take 50. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's pretty good, Blade Edits. Blade Edits, with those supplements, how do you feel? Renee Ferguson says, I'm feeling good. How about you? Renee, we good on the way to great, Renee. But I'm glad you're feeling good. Welcome to the winner circle. Queen's Alchemy says, processed foods is the devil along with sugar, but for real. Yeah, Queen's Alchemy. Those foods give you the quick fix. And because we're so busy, because we're overstimulated, we look for quick fixes. You know what I'm saying? That's why we go through the drive-through, quick fix. Hey, there's a snack there, quick fix, because you're overstimulated. So I tell my clients, sometimes you have to simplify your life so that you can eat better. Because if your life is too hectic, you're going to eat whatever. You're going to eat everything. Nothing's off limits. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to start eating snacks. And look, Sonic says, I feel convicted, man. I'm starting this weekend. Let's go, man. This is why we do it. Sonic says the conviction has hit me, and this weekend I'm starting to do better. Let's go. Starting and then stopping. Just keep going. Stop stopping. I got you, Queen. Queen, sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need accountability sometimes. Sometimes you need somebody to hold you accountable. So if you need that, you got to set that up in your life. That way that person can say, hey, Queen, you stopping again. I noticed you falling off, Queen. Let's get back on the horse. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. We got to get some accountability. That way they can hold you to the flame. But it's for your good. It's for your greatness. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's go, baby. JK Fee. What's up, JK Fee? How you feeling? Blade Edit says, last 2 months I'm using, I can feel my hair, skin. That's what's up, Blade Edits. You know what I saw a big difference with my skin from? Collagen. Oh my gosh. Hair, skin, nails, collagen has done it. Maximize. So why do we pass out or almost pass out when you either hold a position too long or you lift too much? Usually maximize because you're holding your breath. You don't have enough oxygen. That's why. The lift is too much. JK Fee says, I'm feeling good. How about you? JK Fee, I'm good on the way to great. Let's go. MP says, pull up with a bag of leafy greens instead of crisps. True. Very true. We had 19 likes, almost at 20. Who's going to be like number 20 for me? We had 19 likes, almost at 20. Let's go. Listen, I can tell the people that are in here right now are the teaching or the people that like to learn. If you're learning something tonight, hit the one button. Put the number one in the chat if you're learning something tonight. Put a one in the chat if you're learning. Let's go. MP says, I'm learning. That's what's up. Cheek Z say, I'm learning. Let's go. JK Fee. That's what I'm talking about. I love to hear it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. So we talked about, and I'm still reading y'all's comments. Queens. Yes, I have been in a community. I have been building for yes, I have a community. I have been building for accountability. I host a panel, health and wellness, once a month. We'd love to have you as a panelist if you are open. Okay, Queen, we could definitely talk about that, Queen. For sure, for sure. That's dope, man. Or ma'am, my bad. That's dope, Queen. Maximize. I know you're right about nutrient-dense food. I had two fish, chicken, lettuce. And there you go, Maximize. It makes sense. Queen says, we learning. Gene says, I posted that drawing. Where did you post it? In Discord. JK Fee says, I was just stopping by to say hi. I got to go though. Peace. Hey, JK Fee, appreciate you stopping by. Have a great evening or morning, depending on where you are in the world. Let's go. Sonic says he's learning. Hey, listen, Sonic say, listen, I'm learning so much. This weekend, I'm starting. That's called motivation, man. This weekend, I'm starting. Let's go. Oh, okay, Gene, I'll check you out, Gene. I'm learning from, he said, I'm learning so much. I'm starting tomorrow. Let's go. I love to hear that, man. I'm learning. Let's start tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's community, man. So we talked about mind-muscle connection. Then we talked about recovery. Last but not least, we're going to talk about accountability. Right? Accountability is what you need in order to stay on the path of greatness. Right? Anything that you're trying to do, you're trying to become great at, right? So with that being said, you need accountability to help you through it. Accountability is not so dreadful. Everybody thinks of accountability dreadfully. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm accountable. I feel bad. No. Accountability is what you need. You need a system in place that keeps you on the route to greatness. You know what I mean? Gene, they probably not talking because they probably listening, bro. So it keeps you on your route to greatness. So you set up a system in place, whether it be a person, usually it's a person, usually a friend, a family member, a coach, somebody. And what they do is they just kind of overlook you and say, you know what, you're doing a good job, or you know what, you're doing well, but get back on your path again. That way you can reach your goals, right? You know what I mean? That is a system that you can put in place, right? You got the mind muscle connection going. You're recovering well. Who is going to be in your corner to help you get to that next level? That's accountability, right? It sounds bad, but it ain't bad, man. Listen, it's healthy. Sonic says, I got to go. We start our lives tomorrow. What time? Tomorrow, we're going to be on for the Breakfast Club, where I'm going to eat breakfast and chop it up with the community. We're building a nice knit community here, man. Let's go. Gene says, I need to start back doing my push-ups again. I've been slacking. Gene, you might need a little accountability. See, when you don't have accountability, clapping push-ups is like 7%. Yeah, that's right. That's right, MP. When you don't have accountability, right? It's a free for all, and you don't have anything in place to hit your goals. You know what I'm saying? Right? Jassy Arfin, I'm doing well. How you doing, Jassy? Love how you are encouraged and educated. Let's go, let's grow. Queen, you get it. Queen, I appreciate you. Nico YT, take the dust out of your ears, bro. I'm glad to hear you doing well, Jassy Arfin. Uh, I heard I have a friend that lives in the same county as you, Jassy Arfin. I gotta change my. I gotta put some charger on this thing. But Queen's Alchemy, I'm glad you like what we're doing over here. I'm glad you liking the conversation. You know what I mean? Bro might have to go to the basement. Go to the basement. Hi, you funny, bro. Let me get a good charge on here. It's gonna change up my. It's gonna change up my thing a bit, but that's okay. My audio, but that's all right. That's all right. That's okay. We're gonna do it anyway. So accountability, right? Right? How many people in here have accountability when it comes to their goals? If you have accountability, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't have accountability, put a 2 in the chat. I charge my phone every night, but this morning, yeah, I've been going live a lot, so. Queen's Alchemy says, I love helping people, especially when it comes to health, because everything starts with what you put in your body. That's right, Queen. And I believe that when it comes to what you should eat, I think that it's subjective, to be honest. That's just what I've noticed over time studying nutrition and things like that. Carly Davy says she doesn't have accountability. Okay, understood. Okay, accountability is so you don't plateau. You keep. That's right. We live in a society where people think accountability is bad, but accountability is healthy. If somebody is helping me to understand what I need to do to stay on track, that's healthy. That's not unhealthy. It's healthy. But I think it's just our how we've been brought up. It's really how we're taught to think. Like, oh, I shouldn't need help. You know what I'm saying? But everybody that's great, all the athletes, everyone you see, they all have accountability. They all have help. All the best players in the world had somebody keeping them accountable. All of them. So there's nothing wrong with that. So we got the mind muscle connection, right? If you guys missed that part, Queen's Alchemy said, I love all kinds of perspectives. That makes sense, Queen. I used to be like, hey, this way is the right way. But as I got older, I realized that that's a farce, man. I don't think it's a one size fits all approach. Now, what I do believe is I think there are some things that we can all agree on. You know what I mean? Okay, MP, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you, MP. Much love to you. Accountability, there you go. So with that being said, I used to think it was one size fits all, but then I realized there's no way that it could be one size fits all. There's so many countries, there's so many genetics. There has to be different perspectives. There's no one way in the world. So when it comes to diet, nutrition, I think there's a whole lot of perspectives, yo. You know what I'm saying? I think we can all agree that too much sugar is bad for you. There's some staples that you can't get away from. But to lump it all in and say, well, you have to eat this way or you have to eat that way, everyone should eat that way, I don't think there's enough data to say that. You know what I mean? Gene says, question, can a kid that's between preteen and teenager still actually work out? Of course you can work out. You just want to maybe not strain yourself and lift too much when you're that young. You know what I mean? Conway Williams, what's up, man? How you feeling? Okay, family. So does anybody have any questions for me? We talked about the mind-body connection. We talked about recovery, and we also talked about accountability. And this is for everything, y'all. We're talking about it for fitness, but it works with fitness, it works with family, it works with food, it works with faith, it works for all those things. You need all those things. When you're working your mental muscle, you need recovery. You know what I'm saying? It's tight, but it's right, baby. Let's go. CC, what's up, CC? How you feeling? But any questions for me? We've been going for about an hour, but I'll answer anybody's questions if you have any questions about those particular topics. I got you. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us too, man. Usually I mostly just listen to questions, but today I wanted to do a little teaching with the community, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to really drill in some stuff because I want people to come back and be like, you know what? I put these things in place and my life is getting better. Let's go. I put a couple things in place and it's getting better for me. Let's go. Oh, the picture I drew was Freddie Fazbear. I posted on my channel. Okay, Gene, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. I'm gonna check it out, Gene, for sure. But we continue these conversations in Discord. So if you have any interest, we have fun in Discord. We make little funny riddle jokes, but we also talk health, fitness. And it's a good way to keep the conversation going when I'm not on live. But I'll answer anybody's questions right now. If you got them. If you ain't got them, no worries. Okay, Gene. That sounds good, bro. That sounds good, man. That sounds fantastic, bro. All right, so the question, do you know what mind-body connection is? It says 63% of the people know and 37% don't know. So we covered that pretty well, and hopefully everybody kind of utilizes it for their week. Just try it. Try to lock in. Queen's Alchemy says, Mom's still here, brother. Your mom is in here with you? Queen's Alchemy says, I am, LOL. Oh, got you. I got you, Queen. So I want you guys to try some of these things this week and come back and tell me, hey, this worked, I felt like this, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I've had people come back and say, listen, I tried this, I've tried that, and I'm getting better. So for me, love is what it does. I want people to apply things to their life, get better, because that's my purpose in life. Seeing everybody get better together. You know what I mean? So y'all got any questions for me? If not, let me know. It's a nice little beat right there. Gene says, I ain't got nothing, bro. I'm out from what I need to ask. Okay. No problem, bro. All good, man. Listen, you may not have no questions. That means that the topics were covered well. You know, gotta tip your cap sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But listen, family, I will be on tomorrow. Queen's Alchemy says, do you leave your lives up for replay? I do, Queen. I do, Queen. So you'll be able to catch the replay. And then we'll be on tomorrow for the Breakfast Club, where we make a little breakfast and we chop it up with the community. But after the live, I also jump in Discord to talk to people for about 15 minutes. So it all depends on what you're into. Naki Boom, what's up, man? Greetings, how you feeling? Star Smog, what breakfast you be making? Star Smog, you gotta be there to see it. But sometimes my food is prepped, but I always make a smoothie to go with it. But I make all kind of stuff. I make breakfast tacos, omelets, whatever. But I need fuel, you know, so I just try to teach people Star Smog cereal. I can't tell you when the last time I had cereal, bro. I can't tell you when the last time. Gene says, does it start at 6 or 7? Bro, it's usually about 6:30 when I start cooking. But I run that live till about like 7:30, 8, something like that. I run that live from 6:30 to 7:30. Queen's Alchemy, yes, I will catch this from the beginning. Good, Queen. And Queen, let me know if you implement any of those things and you start to see improvements, or if you don't see any improvements. I take the good with the bad, but we can do it, you know? But the reality is, when you start implementing the little things, right, I think it starts to become big things in your life. Star Smile says, you remember when they had athletes? There you go, Star Smile. They got the heroes of the day to promote cereal. That's right. That's what they be doing, bro. But that's why I'm on here saying, listen, there's some things you can add to your routine and you can get better from it. So instead of me, like personally, I used to be like, oh man, this is bad, this is bad. So you know what I do now? I just try to be a part of the change I want to see. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? You know? I think that's important. Like if you see something wrong, what are you going to do to help change it, baby? Let's go. Naki Boom says, I'm good, sir. Just see your stream. Lucky I'm 32 from Germany. Chatting up. Hey, I appreciate you, Naki Boom, man. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to Germany. Oh my God, I just realized that when you don't wake up at 5 or do whatever, you're wasting most of your day. You're funny, bro. You're funny, Gene. What time you get up, Gene? Queen's Alchemy says, yes, I sure will. That's what's up. Listen, if you got value from today, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you feel like you got value from today. Let me know. Gene, the whole day is almost over, Gene. Star Smart says, how do you feel about creatine purchasing? I know people do think they can replace a meal. I know people who think they can. Star Smart, I don't think you can replace it, but I think when it comes to reaching your protein goals, I think a protein shake with good ingredients can be helpful. Creatine, I believe it's one of the most studied supplements there is. I just think you need to find one, that vets their sources. And I think that you need to make sure you're drinking a lot of water when you're on creatine. But I think creatine can be very helpful, cognitively as well as physically. I see all the ones coming in, man. Much love to you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. Just trying to get a little feedback, you know? But you guys try these things, like we said. Mind-muscle connection, proper recovery, right? Cheek Z says, I'm back, chat. You too got me. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Cheek Z. Even though you came at the end, I feel you, Queen. Star Smile said, "Have you ever trained someone who was on steroids? If you did, how could you tell?" I think you can tell sometimes from the back knee. I think you can tell sometimes from mood swings, but everybody got those, so I don't know. But it wasn't steroids per se. It was more so like testosterone. Let me see. So you guys got value, man. Love it. Oversized lats or traps, right, Cheek Z? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. People thought I was on steroids and I was only on creatine, and I was pretty jacked. And I was lifting like a lot. So I don't know. I think you can tell, but when I was that big, I wasn't recovering properly though. I was just lifting, you know? So I think you can tell from how vascular they are. Star Smile, you do recover like Superman. That's the reason why people do it, because you recover so well. You know what I'm saying? But I have a picture when I was really, really big, but I wasn't recovering well though. I'm a little insecure about my stomach fat, to be honest. I was chubby as a baby. Well, you know what, Gene? You know what's beautiful about that? You got an opportunity to start working on it, baby. That's the beautiful part. Let me see if I can find this picture when I was really big. People thought I was on steroids and I wasn't. So I think it's, you know, Luis Mendoza. I'm doing good. How you feeling? Star Smile, that's correct. You fall down the stairs now, you might need a week off. Cheek Z said, "Listen, wow, Cheek Z, that's crazy." So I'm a lot smaller than this now. But this is how, when I was lifting to just get big, I didn't care about sleep or nothing else, just to get big. This was just to get big. Now, you guys tell me, was I on steroids? This was years ago, many years ago. But was I on steroids? Oh, man. My finger keeps touching it. Here we go. Was I on steroids, yo? Yes, no? Pretty jacked, though. If I didn't know you, I would think your back looking like it got abs. Right. But I could tell you 100% that I was only on creatine. Only on creatine. I was lifting like an animal, but only on creatine. So are steroids like a medicine that makes you correct, Gene? With plenty of other side effects, Gene. So it may sound like something you want to get into, but you don't really want to get into it, Gene. I mean, you know, but that's me though, you know? Jack, I'm holding off on supplement usage. You funny, Cheek Z. But yeah. Star Smile says, what about when you get older? Like what age, Star Smile? What age are you talking about, like when you say older? Cheek Z said, you were swole, homie. Yeah, I appreciate it. I couldn't fit much shirts though back then, bro. Star Smile says 60, 70. I'll have to wait till I get there, bro. You know what? I'll never say never, but I think technology by the time I get that age will be a little more advanced, and I'll be able to kind of know what I'm getting myself into. I appreciate you, Cheek Z. He said you look more approachable. That's funny, bro. That's funny, bro. That's funny, man. I love the community, man. Cheek Z said you look more approachable. I didn't look approachable then, Cheek? I didn't look approachable then, bro? So this is now. Yaskara, what's up? How you doing? Cheek Z, still approachable? That's 35. Star Smile say you look like you could crack an apple with your biceps, bro. You guys are so funny, man. I love y'all. You look like you were a happy, joyful kid, was always happy when you smile. That's right, Gene. Yaskara, you doing good? What you doing for the weekend, Yaskara? Cheek G said, no one wants to deal with the Superman. That's funny, bro. You funny, man. You super hilarious, man. Super hilarious. Cheek G said, yeah, it's way more approachable. I'm glad, man. That's what I was going for. Back then, I wasn't doing no YouTube live, bro. I was locked into the weights. Weights over everything. Let's go. But now, I realized you need balance. You need recovery. You need mind-muscle connection. Yo, you use those grips for grip strength? No, I don't. Actually, Star Smile, I get grip strength from gripping heavy weights, right? So when you're doing lat pull downs, that helps your grip strength. When I would use straps, my forearms would get way too weak, bro. Like way too weak. When I would do forearms. So, when I would use those wrist straps, it would get way too weak. So I had to stop using those and start to really do my deadlifts and things like that. So my grip strength. So if you do deadlifts, if you do all the heavy lifts, your grip strength is going to get stronger. Yaskara, what do you do for a living? I'm a health and wellness coach, Yaskara. You know what I'm saying? So I got tired of, like, when I wasn't using the wrist straps, I got tired of how weak my forearms were. I was like, man, this is crazy. You feel super weak when you go back to it. You know what I mean? Yaskara says, how do you get a 10-pack? Yaskara, I would say implants. Looks like you were right about Nuggets and OKC. See, Star Smile? I told you. Those teams are very, like, they go in runs, you know what I mean? Cheeks, he says balance is the key. Life as well as using the sun to power up. Men here call me Satan, a demon. GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, used these words. They called you Satan? What you mean, bro? What you mean by that, bro? Yeah, Star Smile, bro. Game 7 about to be crazy too, bro. I can't wait to see it. Jano, he's still here. What's up, bro? Everybody stuck around for the good teacher. Star Smile said, is there any way to get abs if you ever herniated disc? I want to do crunches and stuff, but I have a herniated disc. Star Smile, you know what you can do? You can hold dumbbells in the air over your head, hold 2 dumbbells in the air, and do knee raises, one leg at a time. That'll really fire up your abs. Let's go. But that's what I give my clients. I give them exercises like that. Addy, what's up, Addy? Long time no see. How you been? Star Smile said that makes sense. I'm gonna definitely try that. Yeah, Star Smile. The only thing that I'm gonna charge you is if you try it, make sure you come back and tell me how it went. Let's go. Jano Blase. We did a whole teaching today, man. They was loving it. They stuck around, they thought it out, and they got better. Let's go. Jassy Arfin, what's up? Robert Lloyd, I'm here again. What's up, Robert Lloyd? How you doing? Jassy Arfin says, CCTV on? CCTV on, Jassy Arfin? You're doing good. That's good. Did you cook? Did you cook today, Jassy? Star Smile, got you. I'm going to try to let you know. That's right. Hey, Star Smile, it's actually a lovely exercise. Jassy, what did you cook? Yes. Cheeks, he says, yes, GBI man called me. Begging man other for help. They too were scared for to enter the courthouse. Dang, Cheek Z, what you doing out there in Georgia, bro? Good, I have not been on your live. I've been busy with school. Okay, Addy, that's good. That's good. Jassy Arfin said, bro, please support me. I was in your live yesterday, Jassy. Yo, did some workouts. I know that they have, Robert Lloyd. You getting it in, huh, bro? Gene, that food was too hot, man. Yeah, Jassy, how do I get subscribers like you? You got way more than me, Jassy. I'm just playing. But you do, though. Someone will reach out to you about me. Someone will reach out. What are you saying, Cheek Z? You lost me, bro. You lost me. I was rocking with you, but you lost me, bro. Reel me in, baby. Reel me in. Let's go. $43 poll votes, 67% say yes, 33% say no. Okay. Jassy Arthur says, nice cap. I appreciate you. That's my logo, Jassy. That's my logo. Thank you. And Jassy, you say you made some vegetable pasta? Jassy, are you a vegetarian? Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct. I could probably Killer Instinct. I could probably stick with you, bro. Are you Southpaw? I probably got you. Cheeks, he says YouTube is monitored, correct? It is, bro. Heavily monitored. Okay, Jassy, for sure. Oh, you're a vegetarian. Okay. Bro, I just got a cramp. I did not stop, so I went to the hospital. I now have a leg problem. What happened to you, Robert Lloyd? You got a cramp doing what? Like a Charlie horse? Jassy says non-veg and veg. So do you eat meat, Jassy? Do you eat meat? Yeah, Robert Lloyd, man, we were just talking about recovery. I hope you play this video back on the playback so you can hear what we were talking about with recovery, bro. Very, very helpful information. So if you could watch the playback while you're recovering, it'll definitely give you some insight on why not to go too hard. Let's go. Star Smile said, I can go for some tacos right now talking about this food. Hey, Star Smile, we had some breakfast tacos this morning. They were banging, man. I see Jassy said veggie and non-veg. So that means you eat meat, right, Jassy? Robert Lloyd, meet me in the Discord and we'll talk about that in Discord. I like that beat, man. Gee. She gotta try Conchita Pierce spicy breads. Man, that sounds good. But what about the pickled jalapenos? Are those good, Star Smile? Nate SoFlo says, what's up, bro? Hope you're having a better day than I am, but always try to be positive. Nate SoFlo, you should join the Discord, my brother. It's free, but what we do is we try to keep connection even when we're not on live. We try to keep it going. But Nate SoFlo, keep your head up, man. Keep focused. Lock in, baby. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better, man. Let's go, let's grow, baby. Okay, Cheek Z, I see you next time. Cup Man, what's up? Jassy Arfin, what's up? Robert says, I got a new pit bull, 4 months old, but still can't forget about. Oh yeah, for sure, Robert. You can't forget about the other one. Gene says, I'm starting to think I have mood swings. You think? I'm just kidding. I almost thought I was fool. That's funny, Star Smile. Jassy said, today we have a lot of fun. That's good. Cheek Z, good night to you. Jassy Arfin, pool day. That sounds like fun. Are you a vegetarian, Jassy? Or do you eat meat too? LL Jar, what's up? How you feeling? Nate SoFlo, I appreciate that for real. I do believe it's going to get better. I'm always trying to be positive. It's always dark. There you go. There you go. Keep your head down and keep working, Nate SoFlo. Robert Lloyd says, yo, I got to go. I was here to support you, but you know I'll always be back. Hey, I appreciate you, Robert Lloyd. We'll talk soon, man. Or you eat both. Okay, Jassy. L Jar says, rap music. What about rap music, bro? Star Smile, I can eat any meat, but I still don't eat shrimp because I've seen it shares the same protein as cockroaches. Oh, okay, I got you. I understand, Star Smile. I understand where you're coming from, bro. Hold up. He said Latina and her tacos. What? Cheek Z, what you said, bro? You funny, bro. Duck, Diva Fever, what's going on, man? You back to troll, bro? We love the trolls, man. Shout out to Diva Fever, man. They always come in and troll. That mean they like something over her. I'm gonna try to go to bed as times so I can get full night rest so I don't get in trouble. There you go, Gene. No more sleeping in math class. That's right. Diva Fever, you might as well sub because you're always in here trolling. All right, family. I will be on in the morning for the Breakfast Club. So we can eat breakfast, hang out, chop it up, and get better 1% at a time. So I appreciate y'all for stopping through. Hope you like the lesson for today. Hope you like the growth message. And remember, let's go. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's go, baby. I'll see y'all on the next stream. Like, share, subscribe. Peace. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Star Smile. Thank you, Nate SoFlo. Y'all have a great weekend. But I'll see y'all tomorrow if you're on stream. Let's go.